Morning guys, today we're going to be working on changing our brake shoes on this trailer I have here, this end dump. And so we're going to go through that step by step and show you how to do it. And let's get it going. We want to start off by making sure we have the right tools. So we have our impact here to get our lug nuts off, get our tires off. That's a 33. And a hammer, screwdriver. We had our 7/16 socket. That's for our slack adjuster. We have our PPE, our gloves, and our safety glasses. And then here we have 4 sets of brake shoes. And these ones are actually, most of them come with the 20,000 rating on them. These ones are the 23,000 just because I wanted to make sure for an end dump they're carrying a lot of weight. So, all right. We got all of our tools along with our jack. So whenever you're working on sand or dirt, make sure you have a piece of wood or something that you put underneath your jack so it doesn't sink down in. It's pretty common sense, but you'd be surprised at how many people don't do that, right? Alright, so we got our tires up off the ground. So what we got to do is we got to release the tension on these brake shoes. What we're going to do is we're going to put that 7/16 right on here and back that off counterclockwise. You can see the wheels are loose after just a couple cranks. Backed off those shoes, so we're good to go ahead and remove these 2 wheels. Alright, after you've gotten all the lug nuts off, you can go ahead and pull the wheels off. Alright, then we got to get our drum off. So if that's not loose already, you can give it a couple whaps with a hammer. One thing we're going to look at before we even get to the shoes is our drum that we just pulled off. Let's take a look at that. Alright, on this drum, you should be able to check it. Got a little bit of cracking in here, which is kind of normal with the heat that this generates. But you want to look at this lip. There's a little tiny bit of lip here, which is okay. If it gets pretty heavy, you want to replace the whole drum. But these I'm going to go ahead and reuse. This is your S-cam, alright? These will be right in the middle of those when you have this backed out all the way. So we're just going to go ahead and do that. We're going to back it out. Alright, so we got it right in the S-cam there. Now we're going to pull these shoes off. The easiest way is to start from the other side. Just going to take a screwdriver, put it in there, and pop that off. Same with the other side. Pop it off. Alright, those 2 springs are off. So now, should be able just to lift this side up. And that one's loose. Now push this one down. A little bit tighter. There we go. Alright, just keep pushing this down. There we go. Our old shoes are off. Now in the new kit, we do have new ones of these. And because I have new ones, I'm going to go ahead and replace these ones. I'll hold these ones in case I have an emergency later. It's always good to have backup parts. Alright, so here we have our new shoes. And we have our packet of hardware. Let's go ahead and open that up real quick. So the two that I was just talking about, these guys, they have these little sleeves in there in case you need them, but mine doesn't need them. It just goes like that. So we're gonna put those in a minute. These two little bars, it's hard to see with my gloves on, I apologize. But these two little bars, you find the hole that's the center hole. So there's an end, and center. And we're gonna go ahead and pop those in right there. So you get those where you kind of want them, and you give them a little tap until they're nice and snug in there. They'll be loose, but they won't be able to just fall out. Let's do the other side. Sorry for the sweat, guys. It's a little humid in Phoenix today. There we go. That's where our big spring is going to go, right on those two. Let's go ahead and put these on. We have our little, those tensioners are going to hold that on. These are going to go right in this small one. You can tell it's the right one because this one is huge and this one is small. Okay, it's going to go in this small one there, and you just kind of push this in until it clips down in this hole. There's two holes on either side. Alright, so those are both in there. They're all set to go. So now that we have those on, we can go ahead, put our big spring in. There. There. With that on, we can go ahead and put this back on the truck. Alright, as I said before, I want to put these in here. Just slide right in. One of the things I want to look at before we put everything back together is right here, this ABS light sensor. We just want to make sure that that's right there, right up against that hub, because if not, you put this together and this is knocked out a little bit, and all of a sudden it's your ABS sensors going off, and that should be right up against there. In my case, I'm just going to use the edge of my hammer, kind of wedge it right up in here, and just give a little bit of a push. See how it moved? Now it's a little bit closer, which means it's going to be more accurate. Alright, let's go ahead and put our new shoes on. So to get that on, you got to kind of finagle it. It's going to be a little bit of a pain to get it on that S-cam, but once you get those on, then we'll move to the other side. And if you can see right here, they're not quite lined up. What I have to do is I have to back off the tension on this a little bit. I went a little too far. So I'm going to go ahead and back this off a little bit. And they just fall right into place. Alright, so you're not fighting that. Once those fall into place, you attach your small springs on either side. Just put it in the top hole, the bottom hole. Just going to kind of force it down into there. So there we got one. We're going to go ahead and do the other side as well. Told you it's warm. Sweating like crazy. Both of those are in. There we go. Our new shoes are installed. Now what we have to do is we're going to put the drum back on, put the wheels back on. We'll set the right tension to our shoes. Now one thing you want to think about while you're doing this is if you're going to do all four pairs of wheels, you probably want to consider, go ahead and rotate your wheels if you can. If you have the jacks, the stands, everything to do that. Make sure when you're putting the lug nuts back on, you thread them quite a ways in, at least half the way of the nut. That way you don't cross thread when you impact them down. You can see there's no brakes on there because it's turning freely. So we're going to move to the back side. We're going to go ahead and drop this down. Let's let the air out of our jack. Alright, that's out of our way. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and tighten this all the way till we can't tighten it anymore. That's going to be clockwise. Alright, that's as tight as we can get it. We want to back it off a quarter turn. So if I have this like this, a quarter turn is going to be up here. Okay? Set it in that direction. Alright, that backs it off a quarter turn. That's where we leave it. Last thing is, don't forget to tighten your lug nuts all the way. Make sure they're on all the way. You don't want to lose a wheel on the road. I hope you guys like this video on how to change the brake shoes, and if you want to see other videos, please give me a description below. Otherwise, please remember to like and subscribe to this channel if you would like to see more content. Appreciate you guys, and we'll catch you on the next one.